Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Essar and I am crazy about DIY. So as you have seen in the preview of the video, today I'm doing a video based on pegs. So as I was doing research for this, I wanted to find different DIYs I could do with pegs, but this was the best I could come up with that does a lot of different things. So as you can see, first and foremost, you can use it for wall decor, which I did that for the video, but I probably won't use it for wall decor. But you can also use it for as a centerpiece for your and a placeholder for your candles, and you can also use it as a coaster or a table mat, and it just depends on how creative you get and what you want to use it for. So this DIY only cost me 320 shillings because I bought 4 packs of pegs, and those cost me 80 bob per pack. So yeah, that's all I needed. I used my glue gun as an adhesive, but after going through the whole process, I would advise you to use something else. I would prefer if you used super glue or any other strong glue that you can get, because maybe because it's plastic, but the glue gun wouldn't hold the mass together so well. Like when it fell, when one fell down, it just broke off like nothing had held it together. So I prefer for you to use something else, preferably super glue. Something else that you can choose to do or not is to spray paint it or not. You can just color coordinate your mask to have the same color of pegs so that you don't have to go through the process of spray painting depending on the color that you want. But because I wanted to end up with silver and gold, that's the only reason I ended up spray painting. But because if you want something more colorful, just coordinate your pegs to have the same color throughout. So someone recently asked me why I call myself boldly Essar, and I really want to address that, and so that you guys can also get to know me a little bit. But thinking about it, I think I would prefer to discuss it at the end of the video so that I don't talk for too long. So let's just head on over to the tutorial and see you after it. So to start with, guys, you are going to unlink the peg. You're going to remove the metal part of the peg using a spoon or a butter knife, just anything you can get that can enter through that small space, and separate it from the main peg. And the video is a bit blurry, but I'm hoping you guys get the point of the video. It's just to separate the metal from the peg. Once that is done, you're going to see that small section that's protruding from the peg. Just cut it out, and then that's pretty much it. So to cut, you'll have to use a sharp knife because it is plastic and it is hard to remove. So yeah, just cut it out, and then that's all you need for this video, just the peg as it is right now. So once you are done with all your pegs, you're just going to use your glue gun and put it on the flat surface of the peg so that you can combine both parts and to have your full opposite peg, if I can say. I don't know what it's called. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You're just going to do that for all your pegs and combine all 2 sides of each. And once you're done with that, you're going to move on to the next pattern. So for this step, you're going to start by combining the pegs. Just take them and try and make a circle with the bottom part of the pegs touching. As you can see, only one part of the peg is supposed to touch. Don't struggle to make it all touch, because just because of how it's shaped. Once you've established how many pegs you need to make a full circle, that's when you start combining, because you don't want to reach a certain point where you don't know how many other pegs you need. So once you're done, just start combining and putting the glue gun between the spaces at the bottom. Just put the glue along the lines because there's a bit of space in between. So just focus on the small lines that are there, and it should be enough to hold the pegs together. So in this process is when you're supposed to decide whether you want to spray paint your peg mat or just leave it unspray painted. Because this is the point where you can decide if you're just going to use yellow pegs throughout or orange pegs throughout, depending on the color scheme that you want. That way, if you decide on one color, you can just avoid the whole process of spray painting or painting in any other form. So that is basically it. Once all your pegs are combined, you have your formation of what you want. And for those who are not going to be spray painting, this is basically the end of your process, because once you've combined all the pegs, you have what you need. So you, from this point on, you can continue to just let your peg mat dry, and that's it. You can use it. You can continue to use it as a coaster or decor or anything that you want. So for this next process, I started by painting the mat white, because this is plastic. I didn't know how the spray paint was going to stick on it, so I thought that I would coat the mats with a bit of white color so that the spray paint would settle well on the white paint. But I realized it's not really a necessary process, but for me, I felt like it was really necessary. So it depends. It's an optional process. If you want to paint them white, you can, and if you don't want to, you also can opt out of that option. So for me, I decided to paint them white and then move on to spray painting. So I just started by mixing some white powder that I got at a bookstore. It's just a basic school supply paint, and I mix it with a bit of water. And yeah, so that was basically it. I was just trying to paint everywhere that I could reach. And because these are pegs, it's a bit tricky to reach the inside parts of the pegs. So just paint as well as you can do, and you're pretty much good to go. So once you have painted both sides of your mat, just put in a string or rope or thread through it to be able to hold it to dry well, so that no side is being touched and both sides can dry together at the same time. So I just put this yarn on my mat, and then I took it out to dry. Once your mat is dry, just continue to the spray paint process. I use the chrome silver, I think. And yeah, so I just spray painted, and that was pretty much the process for me. I decided I wanted 2 silver and 1 gold. So this is just me spray painting the silver, and once that was done, as you can see, like for pegs, you can't really reach the middle parts of the peg unless you try really hard or have a small brush that can reach in those sides. But the more you continue to try and reach those areas, the more bulky your paint becomes. So I would just advise you to just let it be and continue with what you have. So this was the end result of the pegs mat, how they came out. I put them out to dry again, and once they were fully dry, I brought them in, and this is how they turned out. I really loved how they look, and I do feel like they bring in an extra pop of color. So that was my tutorial for today. Thank you so much for watching. And just to address the question that I had talked about earlier, I decided to call myself boldly Essar because I felt like it was the farthest thing that would describe me. It was nothing close to what I am, but I decided to call myself boldly because that is what I aspire to be. So every time I see the name boldly Essar, it's a reminder of what I need to be, because I have wanted to start this channel for so long, and to be honest, it has been 5 years of me telling myself, tomorrow I'll do this, next month I'll do this, this will be my New Year's resolution for this year, and it never happened because I was so scared. But now that I decided to be bold and put that in front of my name, I was reminding myself of what I need to be. So that's just basically why I call myself boldly Essar, as a reminder of what I need to be. So thank you so much for watching once again. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a thumbs up. Do comment on the comment section and say what you'd like to say or ask anything. I will really enjoy the questions you guys gave me last time because they help me address what I need to change or what I need to add. Even the steps that I feel like are too simple, some of you still need to see that, which I really appreciate. And don't forget to share this video so that we can grow into one big community of DIY lovers. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't just love me in your heart, just love me by subscribing. So see you again next week. Goodbye.